you feel it's a significant amount of a bang or just a bang, go to a fucking doctor. I am telling you, will save your life. It is way more important than anything else. By the way, thrilled to be covering BravoCon. And yeah, I have all sorts of pizzas we're going to be eating this weekend. The first pizza, I got to tell you, I'm in the Hamptons, so it's not like having New York City options. This place, Finney, it's great in Brooklyn. My first pizza, I got to tell you, very underwhelmed. I'm not feeling like actual pizza at the moment, so I got a reverse pizza, like, a Sicilian where it's all sauce on top and then underneath is the like cheese. I really just want sauce and bread, is what I'm telling you. It's just weird. It's just like there's breadcrumbs on it. I'm not really that impressed with my first pizza. Gotta be honest with you. So Gia and Joe, Uncle Joe, have followed each other. Now, Louie has followed Joe and Joe has followed Louie. So my sources, and mind you, Teresa has not followed her brother Joe. So Gia, Junior G, is following Joe. Louis is now following Joe. Joe is following Louis. Hell has frozen over. It's all part of the plan. But Teresa has not followed Melissa, and Teresa has not followed Joe. And so I did some digging into this. And this I'm more certain about than the whole Jackie and Fessler thing. And were they really not invited? Well, I mean, Jackie wasn't because she's not there. But reliable sources have put into my ear that you do realize that this makeup with Teresa and Joe and Melissa and Louie, yes, it is to get Teresa back on the show, it is to get Melissa back on the show. They're the ones that are earning the money. But really, Bravo's real problem with Teresa. Now, she's got her own problems, and nobody wants to watch this family anymore, and nobody believes this. So there are actually problems. But the real problem with Teresa is Louie, Looney Louie. We saw the video. I understand all the arguments about why it's AI. I understand all the arguments about why it's real and it's not. I've heard them all. We've covered it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make Louis look good, regardless of this video that just leaked where he looked absolutely crazy, which we covered this week on many shows. Go back and listen. The point is, they don't want anything to do with him. He's a liability. So my sources that I've checked into said, of course, the reconciliation is for Teresa's job and Melissa's job, but really, it's Louis that they want to actually have look good in all of this. He was at the meeting when they met up, and having him refollow Joe and Joe refollow him is part of the plan. And purposely, they did not, the camp, the four of these brilliant Einsteins now that are working together, they don't want Teresa to follow Joe or Joe to follow Teresa because that would be a big thing. Even bigger, let's be honest, would be Teresa refollowing Melissa and Melissa refollowing Teresa. That would be explosive. Now, we all know it's fake, but it would be picked up. So rather than have Teresa refollow Joe or Melissa or vice versa, we need to first have Louis follow Joe and Joe follow Louis because we got to make that into a thing. And it did make headlines and this and that. And it makes Louis look, look, does it make Louis look sane or any less loony? No, it does not. But we can't have Teresa following Melissa because that would overshadow this. They're just pausing. Just breathe. Gia followed Joe and he followed her, and Louis and Joe making up. That is the real inside behind why, because people are in my DMs. Louis followed Joe, Joe followed Louis. That's why. They're not having Teresa do it yet. They want to pause and have everyone's attention be on this. Look at what a normal, wonderful, great guy Louis is. He's following Joe, and Joe is now following Louis. Forget about Teresa. Louis normal. Now it ain't helping you that the video's at the same time and all this and this and that. And regardless of this fucking video, it ain't looking good for you, Louis. Bravo knows you're a liability. It's not helping your situation, Teresa. We know you're going to stand by your man, but that's really the inside to Joe Gorga and Louie's reconciliation and why they're following each other now, as opposed to Teresa and Louie, as opposed to Teresa and Joe or Teresa and Melissa. Yeah, I'm waiting for Teresa to follow Melissa and Melissa to follow Teresa, okay? But that's not happening. It's all about Louie following Joe Gorga and Joe Gorga following Louie, which is, if you think about it, kind of like hell freezing over, even though I get it. We know because we're not stupid that this is completely fucking goddamn fake. Right? What else? I said we were covering BravoCon all weekend, guys. I said we have some issues outside of BravoCon we have to talk about. Oh, you know what we could talk about? I mean, does anyone fucking care that Dolores got engaged? Anyone fucking care? Now, I heard some other things about this, but we'll get into that. But um let's deal with that. Let's talk about Dolores, right? She got here she is, and she is engaged, but I have so much to say about this too. Um Dolores says she's ecstatic. You know, when you feel that happiness down in your gut, that's where your excitement stems from. That's where this excitement stems from for me. Listen, again, I'm not knocking. I hope Teresa, I hope they reconciled. I just don't want to watch it. I am so happy for Dolores. I mean, I don't know her, so like I really don't give a shit. But I mean, I'm not a hater. Great, this is amazing. I hope everybody out there wins the lottery and finds love. I don't necessarily want to watch Dolores and Polly's story. Um, there are some haters online that are saying some things, but Dolores says she feels blessed. She almost feels guilty, like I don't deserve to be loved this way. Girl, you got to work on that self esteem. You don't deserve to be loved this way. Everybody deserves to be loved this way. By the way, it's obvious you have a self esteem issue because of everything you're doing to your external body. Listen, my face is so fucking shot full of Botox. Some people go and get Botox and they like a little movement, especially in LA. I've been getting my Botox in LA for like the past 3 years. I just have always been in LA around the time I've needed it. If I wasn't there for months and months and months, I would go in New York. It's fine. But I love my person in LA. So, but she says, you know, you're one of the rare people here. That comes to me. Most people want some movement because they're in the industry and they're actors. I want no movement in my face. Like none. And by the way, for people that haven't got, God, I'm really on a lot of tangents today. For people that haven't gotten Botox or Dysport or Xemin, like, let me tell you something that if you get it on a regular basis, it's not even how you look. When you are trying to move your forehead, like anyone that's never gotten it, if you got it and you tried to move your forehead and your forehead didn't move, it would feel weird for like a minute. For those of us that have got it for decades, it is the opposite. So I don't need to look in a Zoom or the mirror. When I am at the end of my Botox cycle and I feel that I need it, I can feel my forehead moving, and that feels weird because the thing I'm used to and love is really like when you don't have to look in the mirror. If you get Botox, you can feel like you're trying to like raise your eyebrows like I am right now, and they're not moving at all. So anyway, I love Botox. I have nothing against whatever, but I'm all about like let's just get some things here to look the best I can. I'm not obsessed with it. Dolores, girl, you are obsessed. So you do deserve to be loved this way. Stop with the extra. Get whatever you want, but you got to be happy inside, Dolores. Stop with all this. It's not gonna. You got to know your self worth. Anyway, Paulie disagreed. I keep telling Dolores she deserves that and so much more. She's an incredible woman. And when I was proposing to her, which, yes, was in an Apple store, I was able to articulate to her everything I see that she is and everything I see that she does and the impact she has on everybody around her. She's one in a million. Good for them. I'm glad they found each